Hey, Survivor. Welcome to episode 39 of the Vibrant Survivor podcast. Today, we shall overcome narcissistic triangulation when it comes to siblings. I get it. When a narcissistic parent pits siblings against one another, it is sad, it's destructive, it creates rifts that are completely unnecessary, and it sets up future generations for failure. That being said, here are 3 steps to take right now to overcome narcissistic triangulation with your siblings. So if you're ready to mend fences, grab your notebook and pen, and let's dive in. Hey, Survivor. Welcome to the Vibrant Survivor podcast. Do you want to disconnect from a narcissistic or toxic situation and heal? Are you Googling how to identify a narcissist, narcissistic abuse, and boundaries? Are you feeling stressed and lonely while trying to avoid being sucked back in and lied to again? Hey, I'm Leslie. As a busy wife and mom, I fell for the lies and manipulations of narcissists. I wasted my time, talents, and money on users who kept moving the goalposts. I wanted real relationships and business opportunities and to enjoy life with my family. Instead, I struggled with anxiety, panic attacks, and insomnia, and I couldn't trust my body or anybody until I took a holistic approach to healing. In this podcast, you'll find tips for healthy living, trauma healing, and boundaries so that you'll have the freedom, confidence, and inner peace to respond, not react, after narcissistic abuse. Take a deep breath in, let it out slowly, and just relax. This time's for you. Have you signed up to become a Vibrant Survivor Insider? You get exclusive content, holistically healing tips, and the latest news and updates on the Vibrant Survivor delivered to your inbox. Click the link in the show notes to join. I remember having conversations periodically with a couple of my brothers where something in their voices suggested to me that they had spoken with my dad and maybe gotten some information or updates from him about my accomplishments, my whereabouts, opportunities, successes that made them feel some kind of way. And while this isn't any reflection on them, I knew that my dad over the years had used my accomplishments and activities for his own bragging rights and to make himself look and feel better. And it made me feel uncomfortable, and it really did a number on my ability to connect with my siblings. And it's a shame. And after his death, I remember talking to one of my older brothers and hearing the effects of this divisive behavior that my dad engaged in for his own benefit. I came up with 3 steps to overcoming narcissistic triangulation with your siblings. Number 1, be humble. One of the ways that you can counter the grandiosity of a narcissistic parent who has triangulated you and your siblings is to be humble with your siblings, to let them know that you are a normal person who has good days, bad days, weaknesses, and who has even struggled in your relationship with the narcissistic parent, so that it can diffuse any feelings of jealousy, envy, FOMO, resentment, bitterness, anger, even hurt feelings. And it may not be perfect or take away everything. And the point is not to invalidate anything that they may be feeling because it's real for them, but to be able to just set the record straight as much as you possibly can and to let them know by doing so that you do not endorse the narcissistic parent's behavior. Number 2, be vulnerable. It can help so much to foster closeness when you are vulnerable with your sibling, assuming that you are able to do so, and if you're inclined to do so. The narcissistic parent who triangulates is going to put you on a pedestal and make you seem like you can do no wrong and that you've got this amazing life. And it can leave your siblings feeling some kind of way. One thing that can help to kind of dispel this vision of perfection or this illusion of perfection is to be vulnerable and to share some of the ugly and some of the hard things. And specifically, one of the things that can help when you're triangulated with your siblings is to share about some of the things that have happened in your dynamic with the narcissistic parent, so that anything that they may be feeling in terms of, oh, I'm missing out and you've got this great life and you have the parent that I didn't have, it can help to kind of ease their minds that, hey, look, you didn't miss out on much and you probably avoided some of the ugliest aspects of the narcissistic parent because they got worse since they were with you and all of that. It's kind of like in a romantic relationship where the narcissist leads you to believe that their life is better, but really they get worse, and the new supply or the new relationship gets treated worse than the previous one. And I think it's very similar in the dynamics with siblings in a family, especially when there's been like previous marriage, and sharing something like, hey, you know what? Here's something that happened with mom or dad. Fill in the blank with the narcissistic parent. They tried to destroy this aspect of my life, or they sabotaged this for me, or they were abusive in this way, or they abused substances and we were abandoned for weekends at a time. Letting them know that things weren't all rosy, because the narcissistic parent is going to try to paint as rosy of a picture as possible to your siblings and even to their ex. Number 3, build them up. Oftentimes your siblings, especially when there have been multiple marriages that the narcissistic parent has been in, your half siblings or step siblings, they can really feel kind of beat down, especially if the narcissistic parent has been harping on the fact that one sibling is doing all these great things and what's wrong with you, or even without saying it, just acting like your life or your accomplishments or the things that you have going on are not as important or not as significant, creating this environment where you feel like you are just never going to be good enough or never going to please them. It can really make a world of difference when you build your siblings up, especially when you see that happening. And even if you can't see it, you'll sense it, because when you talk to your siblings, there'll be a tone in their voice that maybe is a little bit more somber, maybe laced with a little bit of bitterness or resentment. You'll want to be able to read the room, so to speak, when you talk to those siblings, and take the opportunity when and if it's appropriate for you to build them up. And maybe it's just highlighting one thing that they have done. They might have gotten an earful from the narcissistic parent about all the things that you've done or that you're doing. But if you can take one thing, one meaningful thing that you can highlight that they've done that you admire, or that you notice, or that makes you feel proud to know them or be related to them, or that you feel like you can learn from them and share that with them in a sincere way that's real for you, that can really make a world of difference. It can create a shift in your relationship with your siblings, even after being triangulated by the narcissistic parent. Hey, I know that you have had a rough life. I know that you made some decisions that really were not the best. But you know what? We all make mistakes, and I see that you have learned from your mistakes, and you have taken the challenges that you've been through, and you have completely turned your life around and created something amazing in fill in the blanks, building your own company, or starting a family, or settling down and getting married, or picking up and moving out of the country and traveling the world, whatever it is. Being able to build up your siblings after narcissistic triangulation is huge. And if you are able to and willing to do it, it can really be amazing in terms of opening up the door to be able to have a better relationship, a closer relationship with your siblings. Let's recap 3 steps that you can take to overcome narcissistic triangulation with your siblings. Number 1, be humble. Number 2, be vulnerable. And number 3, build them up. Remember, narcissistic triangulation is relationship strangulation. If this podcast has helped you understand who and what you're dealing with, sharpen your discernment, and move forward on your healing journey, share it with another survivor. Help me help others by leaving a review for the show. And let's connect on social. Take a screenshot, share it in your IG stories, find and tag me at The Vibrant Survivor, and I'll share your post too. I look forward to connecting with you on IG and seeing you back here. You're not alone and you're not crazy. Know who you're dealing with, know who you are. Take care, and I'll meet you back here next week. Bye-bye.